What's up today, guys? Another dark car video. This time I'm not driving. We're just chilling. So I didn't have a video for this week. Not that I don't have projects going on. I have projects going on. I have piles of parts waiting to be worked on. My lack of time is kind of getting to that. I'm not able to quite push through and get stuff done in the fashion I would like. But I got a lot of videos started. I just haven't finished them. So today I figured I would do my top 5 podcasts. Now, I started listening to podcasts this previous November, October, and then was while at work. And then over the course of January and February, I actually was listening to podcasts 8 to 10, 11 hours a day, just due to my job and what I was doing at the time. So I got to really listen to a lot of different podcasts, and I thought I would give you just kind of a sampling of some of the ones I enjoy. In no particular order. I'll have some honorable mentions in there, and we'll kind of go through the list. So I'm going to start with the Trail and Adventure Motorbike Podcast. I really enjoy listening to it. I think it's a fun one. It's motorcycle related. It's more motorcycle related to Europe, but it's still interesting to hear what they have to say. The next one on my list would be a Cleveland Motorcycle Podcast. I enjoy their humor. The camaraderie that those guys have, I would compare it to the old Top Gear with Clarkson, Hammond, and May. It's there. They know each other very well, and they joke and they laugh. Sometimes it goes off the rails. Sometimes it's not suitable for work, but at the same time, I think that helps with the comedy. Another one I really like is Adventure Rider Radio Motorcycle Podcast. This one is it's really good. A lot of it, it's a longer podcast. Usually it's about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. He has a lot of people on that talk about diverse adventure motorcycle riding. There's been several people on his podcast that have rode around the world. You get a different view of motorcycling, where if you watch my channel, you see I ride a lot of ditches and very short rides and one race a year. But hearing about what kind of gear they take and what they had to do to accomplish going on their adventure, I think is really interesting to me. The next one is Oil and Whiskey with Roadster Shop. It's a pretty good one. They talk to a lot of other people in the industry, in the automotive industry, hot rod side of it. They have very good camaraderie as well. They go into pretty good detail about people's lives. How did other shops start? Where did it start? And kind of works their way up. And then at the end, they have a whiskey review. And I do enjoy whiskey every now and then. It's interesting to hear their take on it, because I am not a whiskey connoisseur. I do enjoy Crown Vanilla, but I don't drink it very often, and I don't really get out to experiment other whiskeys. So hearing about other kinds of whiskeys is always kind of interesting. That's just kind of a side note on that. And to throw in a couple honorable mentions here before we get to the last one. Rusty's Garage, that's a pretty good one. The Smoking Tire, another really good one. The Classic Car Show, it's an interesting one. Sometimes they have audio issues, but it's still a pretty good one. And last but not least, probably the shortest one I listen to, Automotive Insight podcast. I don't think he hardly ever breaks 1 minute on his podcast. The talking points of the podcast are more oriented towards modern day vehicles, whether it be talking about how EVs are cleaner than internal combustion engines, or some advantages to driving EVs in the cold. And that kind of seems weird coming from what my channel is, hearing about modern day cars, but I find it interesting to kind of compare it to the history of automobiles to where we are now, and kind of see, are we just reinventing the circle again? Granted, with that being said, I'm not going to go off on a tangent here, but you know, we are coming back to electric vehicles, but we have better technology to do so, one would think, at this point. Anyways, enough rambling on. Those are my top 5 podcasts. If you guys have any podcasts, I'd be definitely interested in hearing what you guys listen to. Throw that down in the comments. And stay tuned for more videos here soon. Still working on the 47 GMC. Working on trying to get that started. It's one of the ones that's taking a little bit longer. Currently, I still have the Titan 500 two-stroke pump sitting on my bench downstairs. It's disassembled. It needs to go back together. What else do we got? Still working on the KD. Did some improvements of that this previous weekend. And all my other projects sitting out there. So, stay tuned for more. Hopefully I'll have some okay quality videos coming up. And hope you guys watch.